thoughts on going back to Pittsburgh? And is that a good thing with you and the two players, or is that a distraction?
Well, I'll lock into that game. You know, obviously we got to do work now and before we go up there. But no, I got my high school coach, my college coach, friends that I grew up with. I mean, they know I'm on a business trip. It's not for funsies. But I'll get to see most of my close relatives are not there anymore. So I got some cousins, an aunt maybe or two, but that's about it. So Ellen and I lived in a house back there. I said, "Do you want to stay there?" She's like, "No." And I'm staying there. Right on a highway.
From, like, for just to get tickets, hopefully see you while you're there if they can.
My phone was buzzing, but I didn't look at it, so I imagine it's all of them. And they want free tickets. They don't want just tickets. Yeah, they're just, yeah. I probably could give away half the house there.
Coach, what do you know about Oakland? I assume maybe not a lot, but what can you tell me about
Greg Kampe and I are really good friends. We go way back. He's not a good coach. He's a great coach. He's been doing it there for a long time. It's funny, I watched their championship game because it was Greg Kampe. And I watched the second half, and they won. And I was cheering. And I told him, he and I have already gone back and forth, and I go, "Look, I'm happy I watched half that game." And I said, "But I'm not going to cheer the way I cheered that day." But he does a good job. He's got good players. He put in the dribble drive after I put it in and had us get together because he wanted to use it, and then they ran it better than we ran it. So he's good at what he does. He could be coaching anywhere. I mean, there are all these jobs open right now. I don't know why someone wouldn't say, "Let's go get Greg Kampe." So he's good.
You mentioned you guys go way back. Can you kind of talk a little bit about where that relationship started?
We asked each other to do things. I've done a golf outing for him and different things, and he came in when we've done some of our stuff when I was in Memphis. Goes back then, so I've known him for a long, long time.
Who's a better golfer?
Probably him.
He gives you strokes.
I don't know about that, but I was happy the day we played it rained, so I didn't have to stay more than 4 holes, got off the course. I told the guys, "Let's go have some beer. Why do you want to golf?" Because I'm supposed to be entertaining people. "Yeah, it's raining. Come on, let's go in."
John, at this stage of your career, what does pressure look and feel like for you? I know people are getting antsy because it's been a while.
I don't feel that. Come on now. Come on. I've done this how long? And what's the worst that could happen? It's already happened to me. What's the worst? That's the worst? I've already been through that. I mean, this ain't about me. This is about these kids. So that's the reason I try to take all the pressure off them. If it were your child, when we're going into this or any other tournament, "We got to win this. You got to play your best." That's how you want me to coach? Now, there are people that can do that. If they don't do this and they don't do that, they're not fans of this program or these kids. What they're trying to do is put more pressure on them so they don't play well, so they can double down on what they've said. I don't buy into it. My job is to get them fresh and loose and then be focused and locked down when we practice, and then let's see where it goes. I think I got a good team, but they're going to have to go perform. We did something funny today. Oh, it'll make people mad. We took them bowling. Why weren't they playing in that championship? I took them bowling, and we competed against each other. You know who got one team won, Chin's team. They had Kareem, Reed, Grant, and Ugo. They won. Who was the high scorer? Who do you think rolled the best?
Antonio.
No. Trey over 200. Trey. And I said, "Why didn't you ever tell us?" I'm humble. You're not humble. Why don't you tell us you were that good? And all we did was laugh and joke, and I just want him to be free and loose. You know what we did downstairs? We watched an unbelievable video of our season and the games we played and the mountains we climbed and our unbelievable fans behind them and enjoying it as the clutter was out there doing this, how about if they don't and if they, let us just play this tournament and let us all have fun. And if anybody has those things, what if, they're not a fan and they're trying to get this off point. So I'm good. I'm like, let's go. I've done a lot of these. I don't even know how many games I've coached in the NCAA, but it's been a lot. And we lost way more. Oh, no. We've done fine. And I'm looking at this team saying what I've said for how many weeks? We're built for March. Let's go. Let's prove it.
Do you think they could defend in 6 games?
We may have a couple tweaks. I got some things I think I'm going to have to try to do. So I got a couple tweaks in mind if a team has guards that just break us down. What else can we do? How about if I put both 7-footers in? It may take away a little offense, but now you got 2 7-footers, a little harder to score at the rim. So there's some different things we can do.
Do you feel like, John, that you have guards that can't guard the ball?
No, they've gotten so much better. But what happens is a guy scores 1 or 2, and he gets beer muscles, and now he's throwing them on big guys. They made a lot of tough shots. When I watched the tape, we had some breakdowns defensively, got beat to a few balls, had unnecessary turnovers, like 5 or 6, unnecessary, that led for baskets. And then the other thing was we missed some free throws at the end. We never miss. And so now, instead of it being a 2-point game or an even game, it ends up being 6 and missed free throws. And all of a sudden it's 8. But when I watch the tape, I'm like, we'll be all right. You know why? They never stopped fighting. They fought the whole game. Our fans should be excited about it. Now, I feel bad for the fans that went to Nashville to see this team. And I feel bad. But you should have been in the locker room after the game. Dudes were in tears. So anybody that tells you they don't care about that tournament, you look at them and say, you're not telling the truth. They care. I just don't put pressure on them. I say we're playing for a seed. Don't worry about the tournament. Let's play for a seed and win games. It's how I've approached it. If we lose, what am I going to do? I take responsibility. I'm not trying to put this on these kids. Other people are because they're not fans of ours. They're trying to beat the kids down a little bit. They're trying to get them to think, what if this happens? What if that happens? Do you feel that you have to do? They're not fans of ours. Our fans are rejoicing. We have a heck of a team going into this. Hard draw, but there were a lot of hard draws in that thing. And plus, I didn't watch the other 2 things, so I don't even know what they look like.
Surprised with the 3?
No, because if we could have gotten by that first one, I think we'd have had a 2. Just on what was happening. And then by losing, I thought, we've done so much throughout the year. You can't take away now and say, well, this team won their last 2, so they're above you. When, like in Auburn, who's played great, but we beat them pretty good at their place. And that was 2.5 months ago? No, that was a couple weeks ago. So.
Do you lean on Trey and Antonio a little bit to help kind of get the realization of these kids, the youngsters, what it's
No.
like in the tournament?
No, because they barely know too. The whole thing, I've gotten so many messages about how you can look at us getting beat. Again, the people that aren't fans, this is it, this is what we're talking about and all that. They're not fans of ours, they're trying to create stuff. But the others say, you know what? That team played out of their mind, we're going to be fine, and we get some rest. And now we can prepare, and now we go on. We play Thursday. Now we go on with fresh legs because we're freshmen too. Let's go. Now, I want to tell you, the preparation, and I'm not talking X and O's, before our game with A&M, these kids were so locked in and worked so hard in practice and wanted to compete. Like, Coach, let us go at each other. The shoot-around stuff we did in that building 2 times, they missed like 8 shots. I got them out. So it just shows you they did everything they were supposed to. Came up a little short when I watched the tape. I wish we were better in a few situations, but they never stopped playing. People should be ecstatic about this team, ecstatic about how far they've come.
Another question.
Cal, the highlight video down in the basement, is that something you've done in the past? And if not, why did you want this team to see that?
What they saw today after bowling, they had a tape of themselves on their iPad and us being unbelievable defensively. Because you got to admit, there have been games where we've been unbelievable defensively. So what's happening here when we're not? They saw themselves in that video. Today, I wanted to have them see us and how we played and how we passed and the plays we made and the hard plays we made. Reed shot against Mississippi State. I mean, there were other plays. Arkansas, I didn't realize they had us down at home late. I'm watching, I'm thinking, oh, yeah, we blew out Arkansas. What? They were up 8 late, and we came back and made play after play. The other guy I saw that looked really good on there was Aaron. And I told Aaron, you do exactly what I told Reed to do. If I take you out because you're not getting rebounds, you just say, Coach, stick with me. And then I'm going to put you right back in the game. You tell me that, because he looked good on the tape. Like, we're that guy from being like, woo.
Cal, you asked the players right before the bracket started getting revealed to raise their hand or say something if this is the moment they've dreamed about their whole lives. Obviously, the whole room lights up. What is it like for you to keep sharing moments like that with this team in particular?
Well, most of my teams are so young. I've had older teams, different places that I've been, that it was more like, we're like, all right, next, let's go, keep marching. This and the teams here, it's kind of exciting. Sometimes you're like disgusted with the draw, like why would they do that? And other times you're like, you know what, this is going to be hard, but there are a lot of hard ones. I can't ever remember saying we got an easy road, ever, never. So, but to see them and how they were so excited. All of them sent texts about playing for us and being in this situation and going in. They're excited about this, just like they were excited about that tournament. They were. But this is how it played out. Fate intervened. You know what? Let's go.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.